Welcome to another episode of Out Loud and On Purpose. I'm your host, Sabrina, and I have a very special guest with me today. She's actually my energetic healing teacher. So I know that I haven't been very public about my spiritual life or my weirdo voodoo stuff. I post little weird things on Facebook, but that's about it. And today, I guess I'm coming out of the closet, Linda. I didn't really tell you that, did I?
You didn't tell me that, no.
Yeah, so, and Linda is my guest to come out of the closet with me, I guess. You're very out of the closet, but I'm not.
I am now. I didn't used to be when I was in the corporate world.
Yeah, so can you just explain, I kind of know the story, but for everybody else, can you just explain how it started for you?
I think you can probably say it started from the moment I was born, but I didn't realise it, like most people.
Yep.
Now I was in the corporate world, and one day I went to the Mind Body Spirit show in Sydney.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, this would have been about 1997.
Okay.
1997. And picked up a whole lot of brochures.
Yep.
Needed a bag to put the brochures in. The only place I could find it was at a local college, so grabbed their bag, put the rest of the brochures in. And I had this, didn't know what else was in the bag. And, you know, my habit was on the train of a Monday morning going into my corporate finance job in the city, was reading my mail, reading all the stuff that I picked up wherever. And then when I got to Wynyard Station, I'd throw it all out. Well, this particular morning, I opened up this timetable for this college. And there was one section there called spiritual healing. I had no idea what spiritual healing was.
Right.
I did not know the college. I'd never been to the suburb, and I had no intention of doing the course, and I had no idea what spiritual healing was. But the page kept opening and opening. And by the time I got to work, by 9 o'clock when the college opened, I enrolled, and it started the next day. I was so out of my depth because I walked in and had no idea what it was about. But
Right.
something clicked. Something absolutely clicked. And all these sort of wonderful things started happening. I
Yeah.
started experiences, images, dreams, sightings. And I was doing Buddhist meditation at the time, that sort of started. And I had an out-of-body experience where I went off in to meet Buddha. And it was just absolutely incredible because, you know, the gushing of the wind, and I went out and the Buddha said, "You now have the power of healing." And he said it 3 times, very, very loud. And then I sort of came back into my body and I went, whoa.
So how long after you had started your training to this dream? How long of
About
time?
6 weeks.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah. I went to my teacher and I said, this happened, you know, thinking, wow, you know, this is amazing. And he just very calmly said, "Oh, you're on your way." So, oh, right, okay, this must be what happens to everybody. And, but no, I still had the hard work to do. So and then I joined another course and did a full diploma. That was another 2 years. So
Okay.
yeah, and all the time that I was still in the corporate. So that's how I started.
Okay, so you were corporate full-time,
Mhm.
going to school when you could.
At night.
Yep, at night.
3 nights a week, yeah.
3 nights a week. Okay, so full-time corporate at night, 3 nights a week. When did you start practicing energetic healing?
Okay. Well, as the universe dictates,
Mm-hmm.
about a month after, about the time I was finishing the diploma, so by then I'd been training for about 3 years,
Okay.
my job became redundant. So
Of course.
I took redundancy, and I'd been with the same company, not the same job, but the same company for something like 15 years, so it was a long time. And so then I thought, oh, this is fantastic, let's go and try and practice. I went off and practiced for a while,
Right.
and I was practicing in a couple of suburbs in Sydney.
So did you just go, so when you went off on your own, did you go to other companies that were already offering things, or did you just start up on your own and just start throwing flyers around
Yeah,
and talking to
started
people?
up on my own, started throwing flyers around. Started off in a suburb where I used to work and a suburb where I used to live. and which I thought was rather trendy.
Yeah.
Sort of the trendy suburbs of Cindy, where I thought mostly alternate people.
Okay.
And then I started doing a whole lot of other studies. I became a total junkie, doing neuro-linguistic programming. I was doing Bowen therapy. I was doing, what else was I doing? Kinesiology, so I got qualified in those modalities as well. And I think every weekend I was addicted to something. Then my previous employer discovered me and invited me back, so I ended up going back full-time into corporate, thinking that I was still going to be able to manage to do my private practice.
Okay, so your private practice, was it full-time at this point?
No, it was just a couple of days a week.
So a couple of days a week, and then you went back full-time to corporate.
There was an agreement that I would be able to continue my private practice and work the other job, but it didn't work out. The other job became so demanding.
Yeah, and you're just in a different mind space at that point too.
It was very, very challenging to actually go back and going left brain, right brain, left brain, right brain,
Yeah.
It was very challenging.
So how long were you back in corporate for that stint?
5 years.
5 years?
But what happened in the meantime, I got invited to teach energetic healing. So what happened was then I was teaching in the evenings and working the corporate job in the daytime.
So you got invited to teach. How long after you had started the training? Since you picked up the flyer from Mind, Body, Spirit?
4 years.
4 years. And then you started teaching?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I decided what subject I wanted to teach, and I spoke to one of the lecturers and I said, I'd like to teach that.
Yeah.
And which is one of the subjects I covered at college. And he said, well, why don't you tell the college? So I sent them my CV off, and they said, oh, it's on file. And I knew I was going to teach it.
Right.
But my name wasn't on the timetable. Somebody else's name was on the timetable, but I still knew it was mine. Up to 3 days before the commencement of term, 3 days. And I knew it still was mine.
Still knowing, just waiting for everyone else to catch up.
That's right. And then I got the phone call. Could you do this subject? By then, of course, I had no notes.
And it's 3 days.
Yeah, no instructions, nothing at all. So it's certainly the first term. I wrote it between classes. I actually wrote because there was no paperwork, nothing was handed over.
Yeah.
And so I learned to wing it. Channeling was where I really learned to channel. Say, guys, if you want me to do this, I need help.
I love it. I really want to talk about life purpose because I get asked that question a lot by people that I work with. Is Sabrina, how is it that you're so clear on your path and what you want to do, and you're just living this passionate, purposeful life? And I don't really have a good answer to explain to people how they can find their purpose. And I know we're doing an intense full 1-day workshop to dig out your life purpose. So I know I'm not going to be able to share with you guys exactly how to do this, but I know that you have really good insights on this, and maybe we could just share a bit of that.
Yeah, well, you could pick up a brochure like I did. I think that was a cheap way of finding out.
Here it is, my life purpose. Beautiful. And it was only $5 to go to the Mind, Body, Spirit, right there.
I tell you what, instant discovery. Instant discovery. Something. And it's changed my life. And I'm still, what was it, 1997? What?
Yeah.
And I've been teaching for 12 years, so it's about 15 years. Yeah. But one of the things about that was that when I started working through a process, I could see how that wasn't new. How everything in my life had been leading up to that stage.
Yep. Yeah.
All of the things that I thought were unrelated were just skills that I was picking up.
I have the exact same background too. Yep.
Nothing is wasted. I found that all my corporate skills were perfect for writing courses.
Yeah.
And all the presentation skills that I learned in corporate and all the presentations traveling around Australia.
Yeah.
I could stand in front of an audience.
Right.
I could take the challenges. I was up for it because nothing worse than being corporate finance to really to face challenges. So what I found, I spent about a year looking at what everyone else was doing on life purpose. There's different courses running, there's heaps of books, and I read the books, I did the courses, still looking, and had all the workshops and things, still looking for, okay, what's the best way of doing it? And I've worked out a process with a workbook, and I do one-on-ones, and I do also the day class.
Yeah.
And we start off with a journey map.
Yeah.
Really see how we've evolved by just getting a piece of paper and doing your life from the earliest memories like a river.
Yeah.
What was really passionate? What really excited you? What were you doing when you lost yourself and you've lost all sense of time? When did you really feel like you've achieved something? And then we also, little bits down when things didn't quite work out and what was happening. And then when you actually doing the journey map, there's some of these aha moments.
Yeah.
And you see the patterns and you see the trends. And you go, oh yeah. And you think back to your earliest times.
And I've never done that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many people actually have, and just how powerful it is to be able to see that map of your life right there in front of you, though. Kind of the big moments. Yeah.
Yeah, because when do you spend that time? Just sit by yourself and do it. You sit an hour or two, you don't.
Right.
I think you need a teacher to say, sit down and do that. And then you answer these questions about what was important, what was happening.
Yeah.
And, so it gets into, it's almost left brain, but it's really digging down, getting you to think about it.
Yeah.
And then you look at, okay, what are you doing in your life right now? What magazines you buy? What's your favourite click on Google?
Yeah. Yeah.
When are you totally lost? It's like, where did 3 hours go? What were you doing?
Right.
What were the movies that you go to? What's your TV programs? What do you research most? What do you read about most?
Yeah.
And who are the people you admire most? And what do they do? What's your home look like? What do you have in your home?
Yeah.
What do you have in your office? Okay, so bringing this together, past and then present, and we start to have a look. Okay, what's this pattern in here? Let's find out what's really pushing those buttons, what really excites you. Because people say they don't know what they want to do. They do.
That's
They really do know what they want to do.
Yes.
It's just that they feel that they're not worthy.
Yep.
Another thing is that you can't make a living out of it.
It's just all that negative self-talk about it. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I won't make any money doing that.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're allowed to, to actually say it.
Right.
And why not you? Why not? You are totally unique. Never in the history of the universe has there been you or anyone like you, or will there be in the future?
Right.
You are totally unique. You bring to this life something unique which is only yours.
Right.
You must have a purpose, because you wouldn't be on this planet if you didn't have a purpose.
And I always look at it as there's a reason you're so passionate about these things. There's a reason for this, and that's the reason is kind of your purpose.
That's right. If we did, you can look at purpose on 3 levels. We're all here on the planet to learn and grow. If we didn't have any to learn and we didn't have any growth, we wouldn't be here.
Yep.
Someone else who needs this space would be here. We'd be going off and doing something else.
Yep.
And then there's your purpose. Okay, and whatever that is. And it's usually a broad brush statement. And then the 3rd level is the vehicle you use to express your purpose.
Yeah.
And that's when, in 2012, it's so challenging because we have so much choice of how to express it.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
I look
unlimited.
at all this online stuff,
Yeah.
and I just think there are so many ways to start a business or just a website, a podcast show, you know, whatever. There's so many options now.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's brilliant. I mean, it's almost like overload because we have so many options. Now it's, how do I narrow this down? But yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And you've only got to think of people who've been extremely successful. And you take an instance, fruit juice. Fruit juice. A few years ago, who would have said you can make an absolutely wonderful business out of fruit juice? I mean, it's already been invented, hasn't it? In many, many different forms. Or soap, the Body Shop. Extremely successful, global. But, basically soap.
Yeah.
So it's just your own unique way of expressing it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be something entirely new. It's just your way of actually taking it out into the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the thing is that, as you said, passion and purpose go together.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're on purpose, you're passionate.
Ugh.
So you can't wait to get up
You're
in the morning.
alive. Like, that's the biggest thing for me, is that you feel alive. You don't get that afternoon, oh, I'm just so tired and I'm bored. You don't have that.
No.
It's
You just can't wait to spend time doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hear so many people, I can't believe how many people say, I hate my job. And I go,
You spend too much time at a job to hate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's just, it's disgusting to me.
I know, and and they take office jobs and they hate it. And when they hate it, they're really not giving their best.
Yeah.
They're not giving the best themselves, they're not giving the best to their employer, and they're dragging themselves through the day. Imagine being like that. But then, why don't you just wake up in the morning and be really passionate, like you can't wait to do something?
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's got that within them. And it's not going to be something that's suddenly going to be alien and just going to drop in like, It's going to be, yeah.
Right.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But, and I've been doing this, and I've been telling my friends about that, and I've been reading books about that. Okay. But why?
It's almost owning it. It's almost
owning
getting to a
it.
point of like being able to own it. Like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm gonna do this.
But the other thing, once you've got to that stage, you need support. You need support in actually.
You need support quitting your corporate job and maybe financial support. No.
Well, I think you need support in actually putting it into action.
Yeah.
There's no reason to actually quit your day job straight away.
Right.
There's no reason why you can't be earning a reasonable living and still working on whatever your passion is.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be a business and it's yours, well, get it up and running.
Yeah.
We have to be realistic.
Yeah.
We've got to pay the overheads. We've got to buy food. We've got to pay transport and rent and things. And there's nothing more stressful than saying, I've got to make money out of something. I think that takes the fun out of it.
It does, and it takes the creativity out of it.
It takes the creativity, yeah.
Because suddenly you're under the gun to make money, and it becomes more about money than expressing your true passion and your true purpose.
Exactly. So in the meantime, keep your day job. But if you've got the wind under your sails, you've got a passion, and then that job has a purpose.
Right.
The purpose is to earn the money to enable you to do whatever it is that you've decided is your purpose.
Yeah.
And your purpose, right now. Okay, maybe your purpose is to change the world. However, if we sort of woke up in the morning and said our purpose is to change the world, that's scary. Ooh, I don't know about that. But let's just take this bit here, and we're fine with our purpose. We'll manage this bit, and then we feel really comfortable. We'll go on to the next bit, and it gets a bit bigger. We don't have to start off there. We can start off quite small.
Well, that's it for another episode of Out Loud and On Purpose with Sabrina and my lovely guest Linda James, who you can find at her website seechangewithin.com.au, or just check out on my website. You'll also be able to see information on there. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate everything.
You're very welcome.
You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.